In the distant future, supermarkets sell babies as merchandise. Women no longer need to give birth on their own. All they have to do is walk into a store and pick the child they like. Rachel carefully placed a baby into her shopping cart, but just as she was about to pay and leave, she suddenly remembered that her husband was black. To avoid awkward questions or quarrels, Rachel decided not to buy a child after all, and instead wanted to have one naturally. But even the process of birth had changed in this future. There was no need to carry a baby anymore. Doctors would simply take DNA from both parents and grow the child in a special capsule. Thanks to advanced technology, a couple could watch the entire process of life beginning. And then, one day, a tiny sperm cell successfully fertilized the egg. Overcome with emotion, Rachel and Jack hugged each other tightly. It meant a new life had begun. As they eagerly awaited the next stages, the doctor rolled a large device into the room, something that looked like an oven. The couple stared at it with a mix of confusion and slight dread, but eventually they accepted it. Inside that machine, their baby was growing. Their daily life hardly changed. At any moment, they could check the baby's condition and interact with it remotely. Days passed, the embryo developed, and soon it was moved to a more advanced capsule. One day, the hospital staff handed them headphones. For the first time, they heard their child's heartbeat. That moment overflowed with happiness. When they finally saw their baby, it was still tiny, no bigger than a soap bubble. But it filled them with hope. At home, they joyfully began preparing the nursery. Time flew quickly, and soon they were allowed to take the capsule home. At first, they carefully placed it in their bedroom. But that night, when they tried to fall asleep, the capsule felt out of place. Jack decided to move it to the living room. On the way, he nearly stumbled, but luckily managed to keep his balance. Later that night, just as they were about to go to bed again, a loud siren sounded outside. They rushed out in panic and realized they had forgotten to refill the nutrient solution in the capsule. At first, Jack was terribly worried, but over the following days, watching their baby grow steadily inside, he felt more and more relieved. Soon the capsule at home reached its maximum size. The child was almost ready to be born. They had to return the capsule to the medical center and wait for delivery. But once they got home, they felt something was missing. Soon the doctor called them. The process of inducing labor would begin very soon. The couple was surprised. Wasn't it too early?